Okay, let me start this video off by saying I'm not crazy. You're going to notice two things here. One, I'm not using any sort of audio filter or any sort of voice changer thing like I normally would, and I'm doing my best to try and use my natural voice as much as possible here. This is a, I guess, out of character video. I want to talk about this year's 2025 SCP Anthology. This year was themed around Seraphath. I hope I'm pronouncing that right for the names, and I am 100% convinced that each entry has a deeper connection with all the others. To do so, to prove my point here, I'm going to give a brief spoiler-free explanation of each entry, and in the end show how they all connect together. Before I get into that though, a quick aside just to mention how amazing the art is for the intro pieces for each one of these articles, and how impressive it is they got Mang from the Exploring series to do intro speech things for each one. If you haven't been to the Anthology page yet, just go witness this for yourself. It's mind-blowing. So, without any further rambling, welcome to my 2025 SCP Anthology video. It's Unity in the Heavens. Let's go. Starting us off, Bonia Universalis. The planets are gods, and the names you have given them shape their deific influences. As an introduction to this anthology, Malkuth sets to me a tone for what follows. Everyone after this, whether you believe it or not, whether you agree with me or not, follows what this first entry sets up. Some key points to note here. Space, deities, worship, influence, and unity. These will be reoccurring. The next, SCP-8984, Yesod, Two-Way Street. A massive dark matter out in distant space. Something we know little about. Something that can be theorized for eternity. It's also something that is shaped by these theories, by its belief of its purpose. Yesod is a perfect follow-up to Malkuth and shows limited signs of the overarching narrative or theme that I'm trying to prove here. Some of the key points to note for this one is space, belief, influence, and change. Next, SCP-9770, Hod, my mother, my lover, my golden calf. The life of Skinner Marshall is somehow worse than you ever would have suspected. Analysis aside, this is a difficult read. Heed the warnings on this one before you proceed, okay? It's heavy. This is our first entry that's not in space, but it's not disconnected from the others yet. Some of the key points for this one is influence, deities, power, and change. Next is SCP-9660, Netsack, the useless werewolf machine. At first look, this long, esoteric, and I dare say abstract story seems to be an outlier in my theory, but I disagree. Tenchu's mere existence proves the connection of influence, worship, change, and power. Even the most distinctly different entry for this anthology still has tethering points to the rest. Next, SCP-9490, Tifereth, for the fairest. When we are all the same, there is no high or low. When we are all equal, we are nothing anymore. A small town finds this out firsthand. We begin to really see the connecting strands by this point. Maybe I'm crazy, but it even connects back to Malkuth, with the key points being unity, change, deities, and worship. Next is SCP-9220, Chesed, Dry Birth. Spontaneous life is something we do not see outside of religious texts on average. What happens when from death comes new life, and from that paradox comes another new life? The key points taking from this one is life, unity, worship, and miracles. This is the first where miracles starts to come up, and you see it begin to trickle down with the rest. Next is SCP-9880, Gibora, this corner of the world. What becomes the new normal when the world ends? What is the point of continuing the enforcement of a now outdated normalcy? How long can you maintain it? Noah. Regardless of what Noah you're thinking of, Noah found out the answers to these questions. Key points for this one is change, unity, order, and worship. Next is SCP-9330, Hakma. Still waters run deep. The depths are never ending. The spiral continues on and on. Vladimir deserved better than for his death to lead to this. Deeper yet deeper still, darker yet darker more. There is no bottom. Key points to note from here: depths, space, memory, spirals. Next is SCP-8483, Bina, machine learning. A cult creates its own advanced sentient and sapient AI. A false miracle maker creating a true miracle. Patterns, repetitions, answers. The human mind and an intelligent machine can be much more similar than we think. Key points of this is deities, worship, unity, and miracles, again. Next, and second to last, SCP-9987, Keter, a white and shining fire. The stowaway lost to time on a spaceship during an impossible mission. We are back in deep space, and my crazed ideas that seem less crazy at this point come full circle. With only one entry left, I think by this point my picture is pretty clear. Key points for this: space, deities, belief, unity. And the last one, SCP-9423, Da'at, Kafka's Labyrinth. A different kind of depths from the rest. It's a basement, with a different kind of vastness, tunnels. A ritual is necessary to keep things in order, but mistakes are still made. And through it all, my key points still, through the end: worship, vastness, miracles, unity. Through it all, a picture is painted. In the vastness beyond us, hidden in the depths of the places we could never feasibly explore or reach, is where that which we could never understand exerts its influence over us all, over reality. Is this truly an overarching narrative? Or is it just an overarching theme? I suppose in the end it doesn't really matter, it's just my interpretation of this entire thing. But that is, in the end, my interpretation of it. Surely anyone else who's read through the anthology may have a different perspective. They may not have even noticed any sort of overarching connections between them. They thought them completely disconnected. Maybe I am insane. Doesn't matter. I still enjoyed this. And if by some weird way you've enjoyed my ramble, go ahead and give this a like, subscribe to my channel for more like it, and drop me a comment. Either let me know if you agree with me, want to point out something I missed, or you have a topic you want me to cover in another video. And if you like my work and you want to support me to make more, check out my Ko-Fi in the description below. Fern out.